Howdy, how are you all? I didn't expect to be filming another video today because I just uploaded my Cloudy Watches Yuri on Ice review and vlog. If you guys are interested in that, it's literally like the first and most latest video on my channel right now. I wasn't expecting on doing another video, but I just finished the King's Avatar, or 全职高手, and I actually really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it more than I thought I would because I was running out of series to watch after I'd sort of caught up with everything I was interested in the past 2 or 3 anime seasons. And the King's Avatar caught my eye because I loved the bright colors and the sort of like fantasy elements on the poster. And there are fantasy elements because the series is based in an MMORPG game called Glory. What's interesting about this series is that it's not actually legitly an anime. The style is actually very Japanese. The way the animation is done is very Japanese. However, the language they speak is actually Mandarin, not Japanese, and that definitely caught me off guard because I was busy paying attention to subtitles and suddenly language pops into my ears that I actually fully understand. Now, a few weeks ago, you guys might recall that I introduced an anime called Love O2O starring Yang Yang and Zheng Shuang. And what's really cool about this series is that the main player is also played by Yang Yang again. So literally not a year after Love O2O had finished, he's back in the video game series world. And his voice was actually quite familiar to me once the first episode started. I was like, I've heard this voice and this calm tone before. If you guys know anything about this series, you'll probably know that it has all those typical MMORPG elements. And I've been seeing a lot of people compare this series to SAO, but I don't think this series is like SAO at all. First off, the players are actually playing an MMORPG, so they're not being trapped in a life and death situation, and they're not trying to like fight their way out of the game. The majority of the first season story follows Yesho after his contract ends with his company, after he's kicked out of his regular team, and he's just sort of like wandering for a bit because the expiration terms of the contract termination states that he has to retire for at least a year before he gets back into professional gaming. And for professional gamers, if you're around your 20s or getting close to your mid-20s, they sort of see your career as downhill from there because you're not as young, maybe you're not as quick or as agile to keep up with a lot of younger gamers. And Yesho ends up taking the night shift as the supervisor of a internet cafe or PC cafe. He spends his free time playing Glory with a bunch of people he accidentally ends up meeting. He also accidentally ends up recruiting all of these like wonderful new players into a pseudo team. So by the end of the season, he does have a pretty kick-ass newbie team. Now what's interesting is that his usual character, Ye Cho, is a really famous avatar within the Glory world, and he's forced to give up his character. So basically, when his contract terminates, he has to start from scratch. His original character was a battle mage, and what he does with his new character is he becomes a sort of adventurer, which just means he's like an unspecialized character. In the world of Glory, you can be unspecialized, even though very few people have done it because of the different server changes and the maintenance issues that have sort of gone through the Glory game through the last 10 years. And yes, our hero has been playing Glory for 10 years now. Because he's been playing for so long, he does know a few good friends within the gaming industry as well as a lot of other masters within Glory. At the same time, he's also rediscovering his love for the game because he's been in competitive gaming for so long. For a while, he'd literally forgotten what it was like to like work all the way from like level 0 to maybe level 30, all the work that takes. I found the story really well paced and the character is really charming, even though there was like a lack of depth to the theme of the story in general. The big part of the series does focus on the in-game semantics and the animation and the movements, as well as some of the strategies and techniques that are involved in beating bosses and breaking records, and even in PK. Despite the fact that there's nothing really new about the series, what's really enjoyable is the animation aspects as well as some of the Chinese cultural elements that are thrown into the world of Glory. One of my favorite parts of the series was actually how fluid and beautiful the animation felt. There was a lot more in-game fighting than there was in SAO, because I think SAO was building up towards the twists so much more than they were trying to emphasize what's going on in the game. Glory does try to really focus on the game itself, and it's really cool to see things through Yesho's perspective because he has been gaming for so long. He knows exactly how all 24 classes operates, and he knows how to pull out those strengths in his teammates and sort of target the weaknesses of his opponents. If you're watching it for complex plot or maybe insight into the esports industry, this is not what that is. This is another really fun, non-committal fantasy fighting MMORPG game for anime nerds and video game nerds and anyone who likes Chinese martial arts action. Now, the first season does end on a comfortable but non-conclusive note, and this is because it's building up towards a second season. Throughout the first season, we don't really see that much of heavy suspense plot intensity. Rather, you're following King's avatar episode by episode because you want to see how Yesho ends up meeting new players and battling out new opponents and leveling up. His restart journey in the Glory world is actually really interesting to follow, and it doesn't really take that much brain power. The second season will air in 2018, so I am super looking forward to that. I know a lot of other people who have sort of fallen in love with the series are looking forward to it as well. And if you guys are interested in watching the King's Avatar, you guys can check it out on Tencent's official channel. I will link that in the description box below. The Tencent channel is actually the official channel for the King's Avatar. You can watch the full series with English subtitles, so that is like really handy. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video on the King's Avatar. I strongly recommend you guys check it out if you're looking for some awesome MMORPG fantasy action. Until then, if you guys like this video, don't forget to subscribe for more from me. A new video will come out anime related or K-pop or K-drama related every week. Until then, I hope you guys are well, and I will talk to you guys in my next video very soon. Bye!